Hey, yeah, I've been away for a few days, but coming back. Uh, in this video, I want to talk about something that it becomes an issue with respect to a theory that assumes that experience is fundamental, something that other theories don't, and that's unconsciousness. Now, if I was analyzing reality as a physicalist, unconsciousness wouldn't be an issue. I mean, if I'm assuming that the body produces experience, then it there are some times where it doesn't produce experience, that's not something to explain. Are times where the body doesn't produce saliva. It doesn't. There's nothing to analyze here. But if you assume that experience is fundamental, if you assume that more than that, if you come to the conclusion that all time is experiential time, meaning that the propulsion of time is something that experience does, and without it, there is no progression in time, then how can you explain unconsciousness? I mean, during unconsciousness, there is no experience, so how can the world change why experience doesn't? I mean, sure, like if I am awake while others are unconscious, then my experience, my perception of them can mobilize their bodies for them. But what if there isn't anyone else there, right? Like it's not like there's a guarantee that there's someone else perceiving their bodies, and so like the first assumption we can make is like, well, what happens is that let's say when you fall asleep and you have no dreams, okay, like a dreamless sleep, then what happens is that you fall asleep and then you just pop into the reality after you wake up. Like the body needs, obviously the body needs you to sleep so that it can do whatever maintenance works it needs to do without you in the way, without the experience and the choices in the way. So it needs that, and if experience is willing, it could just say, okay, you go away for, I don't know, 3 hours, 6 hours, and when you come back to this configuration of the body, please. The configuration after I slept, okay? And the experience would leap out of the body and then leap directly to the body when it wakes up. There's a dream and a sleep, right? In between, there's nothing happening there. So there's for experience, it's just one leap, and that's it. That would explain it. But of course, that doesn't work. Like, if, for example, I build the first alarm clock in history, there is nothing in my genes, nothing in my body that can. My body did not invent that alarm clock. I did, and now I set it on. And how can it wake me up? Am I supposed to assume that my body simulated the alarm clock to wake me up? Am I going to say that every single thing that I invent, every single thought that I make, the body knows how to simulate already? I mean, you can make that argument, but it's a bit absurd. So a different way to think about it, like not a different way to think about it. What's more likely is that you don't ever are actually out, like unconscious, like out. There's always some kind of a connection between the body while you are asleep that makes it possible for the body to wake you up from sleep if need be. This is what I call the wakeful perspective. It's kind of like some remnant of who you are during sleep, which connects you to the body, so that the body can wake you up. And sometimes that doesn't work, right? Sometimes Someone goes in a coma, the body can't wake you up, but there's still a wakeful perspective insofar as the body is still alive. Then there's still some kind of a wakeful perspective. I mean, assuming you're not alive using life support or something like that, assuming that there is the body can still metabolize or just or breathe, or the heart can still move, can still pump blood. All that stuff suggests that there are something is mobilizing time. So there's still some kind of connection to the between your experience and the wakeful perspective. That doesn't mean that you cannot go very far with tethered to that wakeful perspective. You can even potentially intermingle with the experience of being someone else, like even through the sub-wakeful outreach. It's something I mentioned in previous videos, but you still have something that connects you to that. So no matter how strange the world you will perceive in the dream, there will be still some kind of a remnant to who you are when you are awake, and that's necessary. Otherwise, body wouldn't have been able to survive sleep.